Hello, everybody. How's it going? I know, long time no see. I've been having computer problems. I apologize. So I'll be working hard the rest of this week and this weekend because I got my computer back in uploading videos and having them scheduled. So I've been having computer problems. I had to reformat my computer and I put a new hard drive in it. Went from I think 100 gigs to we put a 500 gig hard drive in there because I was having trouble with programs. Need to work doing videos. Okay, I've been doing videos, but with my camera, so they're all in clippets. But I needed my computer to edit them, so that's why the only thing I had was just with my phone, like a one take type video. My computer was going so slow the past month. And something I had downloaded, I'm sure, husband says there's like virus or something that was on it that was making so slow. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for dropping a like there, Nintendo. Hey, BJ Hunton. Yes, and Farina Vincent. Thank you. Yay. I was just saying, I apologize for not having videos up and not doing a live stream. Last week, crazy. I don't know. I do not know where the time went. Just life got crazy. Health wise, various people had different health issues. There was like 3 doctor's appointments, and I'm sorry, like if I'm going to do a live video, I don't want to be kind of rushed too much. And I was having computer problems, so I couldn't do that. I could only do it with my phone. So it's now fixed. It's taken a week, last week, because so my husband couldn't really work during the week on it. He worked a bit on it last weekend, and then this past weekend he spent time on it with my help, and so it's completely clear of any viruses. It's new. We had to reinstall Windows and all that stuff, and then I had to find the passwords and the keys, the registration keys for the programs that we purchased, which was always fun. So there is that. So now, from here on in, so this weekend, there should be some videos coming out, and for next week, so we should be all good. I'm hoping. You feel very sick. If I think it's stress, oh, okay. I completely hear you. Okay, so I get stress. That's why most of my health issues with my back and headaches and stuff is stress related. My doctor says, "Oh, try and relieve stress." It's like, okay, well, where's your stress coming? Well, family. Like, so just my family is stressful, and keeping everybody's doctor's appointments and health, like everybody seems to have health issues. Trying to keep throwing the juggling. I'm very good at juggling balls, but when it gets so intense, it just. Hi, Joyce. McGuire. Nice to meet you. I'm in Canada. So I was just saying, like, stress. My doctor's like, oh, you gotta learn to relieve stress. Because most of my back problems is not physical. Like, there's not like a slip disc or anything like that. There is a tiny pinched nerve in there because of like for many years, but that's not it. It's like, well, which one of my family members are I getting rid of? Because they're all kind of stressful. My life is a little bit different than the average life. I mean, I have my husband who has a disability, my youngest has a disability, my oldest has a learning disability, and she's graduating this year. Then there's all that to go with it. Then we're dealing with their anxiety and their health issues. Abby, has now also low hemoglobin and low iron on top of everything. It's just like, okay, but and then throw in my own health stuff, and then me myself getting diagnosed with ADHD, which throws into the mix of everything. So, I'm just trying to learn to try and do things that help to distress by taking hot baths. I did get a prescription for massage, and I've been getting that. I just haven't recently because I couldn't fit into my schedule. Even though I'm a stay-at-home mom, my schedule was actually full with all different appointments for everybody else. Oh my god, it can so snowball. Like, that's just my life. So this is the thing, is when things get overwhelmed, and this is the thing, I get overwhelmed with a lot of things. and I take on too many projects, it uh, does get overwhelming, which doesn't help at all. Me too. Life is just got one kid in therapy daily and driving to two. Well, exactly. And I don't drive. My husband doesn't drive. Well, because he's legally blind. So, oh, I think my daughter's home. Speaking of which, I'm just gonna open the door for her because I think there, I got it. Sorry.
Thank you.
I
I love Abby right now.
okay. I'm live streaming, but
I don't care.
okay.
I love Abby right now.
Why?
She found my sweater.
She found your sweater.
Because I was sick on the Tuesday that we hit in the mail.
Oh,
Like 2
okay.
weeks ago, I've been looking for it for the past week and a half.
Oh, can I kiss it? Can you show it?
No.
She got a sweater for her grad sweater. Can I just show the picture? Not on you. I just want to show the sweater. Hey, I paid for it. Oh, nice. So that's their high school. Trinity grads 19. My oldest is graduating. Throw in that in the mix. Oh, you homeschool your kids. See, I thought about homeschooling when my kids were smaller and stuff. Just because life was very hectic. Um, but they went to school and stuff. But I still stayed at home. Yeah. For Farina, I agree. I connect with people. It's nice and oh, it's fuzzy. Oh, she likes because it's all nice and fuzzy, nice and thick. It's a nice green too.
Yeah, there's also the white, but it turned out to be more gray.
Yeah, white gray.
I like the green because
Yeah, well, white's gonna get dirty, so green won't.
and also my tongue was at the school.
Yes. Awesome. Nice. So I guess you're gonna be wearing that tomorrow. Hey, Amanda.
I'm doing my placement.
Why can't you wear it?
It's really big.
That's good. A big. It'll shrink in the wash. She says it's big. Hey. Yes. And it's the sweater. So this cost 60. No, I think because we got her name on the sleeve, so I think it was 70. Your last name, her first letter and her last name. Yeah. No, that's nice. But the sweaters were like $60 with this type. I think it was maybe 60 or 70, and I'm like, okay, that's gonna be part of your Christmas. Because we don't spend that much on any one piece of clothing, except for winter jackets or boots, because we're cheap. Right, Princess? I'm glad that you're happy.
It smells good.
It smells good.
I got called down to the office this period. I got called like 10 minutes before the class. The teacher's like, they're like, can Rowan come to the office at the end of class?
Okay.
I'm like,
Uh,
standing there with my sweater because she wanted to catch me before we spit.
okay, cool. Will you be able to get her when she's done? No? Okay. Yes, nice. I'm happy. Yeah, we don't usually spend that type of stuff, but she wanted that for her graduation stuff. She hasn't wanted it any other time, so we're like, okay, we'll do that. Next thing we have to pay for is the actual graduation photos. That's going to be uh, huge. They're not cheap here. Like, they're somebody was saying somebody else is getting them done, and for like what, like she got a bunch of pictures. And we have to kind of figure out which ones we like, and we can get a picture. Only going to probably get one picture, and then we can scan in because most of my family prefers things digital, anyways. Because we have a lot of people in my family that have visual impairments, so if it's digital, they can blow it up and see it better. So probably get one or two pictures, but they're like something like $100 a picture or something like that. I'm like, which I find is crazy, but I'm excited. So she's gonna graduate, not yet, but in June. Squirrel, but yeah. The computer's fixed. I have to edit videos, lots of videos. Have a lot of things on the go. and I will have videos on my um, menus and grocery hauls, as well as I got a couple of things that were sent to me. So, a company had contacted me to review two items, so I've done a video on them, and I get to keep the product for free. So that was, it's not necessarily sponsored by them that they. Um, I'll put a link to their thing in the product, but hey, one's these veggie bags for putting your like mesh veggie bags when you're going shopping, so you don't have to use the plastic bags, which is great recycling and stuff. And another one's flashlights and a little survivor knife and stuff, which will be going into our emergency kit. And this is Princess, and she's like, "Mommy, you're talking on live stream. That means you want to pet me." Yes, yes, it does. Yes, this is Princess, and she's a purr bucket. We have a snake, no fur pets here. We only have fur pets. I don't like. Well, I've held a snake. Okay, a snake as a pet. Eh, I've held a snake, and snakes are fine. I've seen them, out in the wild or whatever, the garter snakes and stuff like that. But I prefer cats. I do like dogs too, but dogs are more needy. I prefer, like, I can leave my cats at home for a week and not worry because we have the big, huge, all you can drink, all you can feed uh, dishes and kitty litters. So dogs, you can't do that. Yes, he gets held and talked to. Never bitten ball python. Hey, Tom Tom, I've held I think it was a python. We have a place here in where I live called Raised Reptiles. They usually have they on the holidays like March break or like Easter and stuff. The different malls will hire them and for the customers for free. But you can also hire them for birthday parties, and they go to the different schools as part of their science curriculum when they're doing stuff. Like they can get hired by the schools, and they usually bring like tarantulas and I think they're pythons, the big long snakes. Like they're about as thick as my arm, and then they had like corn snakes, which were yellow, and scorpions and stuff like that. So I've held the big long snakes because we all stood there and held. They actually, I because I don't like snakes or bugs and stuff, but I did it. I hate spiders, but I held a tarantula in my hand. I did not like it, but I did it because I had to prove to so my youngest daughter could do it too. She actually did it. Prove to her that it could be done. If I could do it, and I hate spiders, she could do it. We really want a large bird one day. Long snake is the Burmese python. Okay, but it's a python because I'm like I know nothing about snakes. My friend, she has a snake, a rabbit, a cat. No, two cats and a dog. I think that's all the animals she has. I think she's five. I have to think. But I'm like, she has a snake. She used to have rats too. Hey, teasers, pleasers. But awesome. Well, thanks very much for popping in and showing support. I'm sorry I haven't produced videos lately. I have had major computer problems to the point that had to reformat, delete my computer. So we transferred all my files onto storage on one of the hard drives that we have, and had to delete my whole computer, reinstall everything. Hardest part was finding a bunch of the keys or my passwords for crap that I installed. So that should be up and running, and I should be having videos coming out this weekend. And then last week with everything, life has just been, I don't know. You'd swear that I was working two jobs because I haven't been at home much, and just life was busy with appointments and everything that I had like basically signed up for volunteer wise or my responsibilities, like had all come in last week, so I wasn't home hardly at all. Welcome back, BJ. And same with this week. This week's been busy. I was home. Well, Monday, hubby had the day off because of Remembrance Day here in Canada. The federal and provincial government had the day off on Monday, so we had date night. So we went to go see the new movie, Bohemian Rhapsody. It was really good. I did read up on the movie beforehand, and I knew that there were some creative um, indulgences that the director took to make the movie more compact and stuff like that. Like near the ending and stuff like that, a lot of the things that happened did not happen in that sequence. So my old laptop died. Make sure everything is a go. A new laptop took a hit. Lost all holiday. Ouch. See, so the good thing with my husband is he's a techie. So we have computers and hard drive storage cases, Synology ones, and they hold like terabyte hard drives in there, or a couple terabyte hard drives in there. We have all of our home videos on OneDrive, which is copied regularly onto a different hard drive, and then we have off site. So with our internet company, our internet provider, they gives us something like a terabyte or something of storage. So we put all of our family pictures and videos there. So if our house burns down, we have if I see I'm the he always puts all of his stuff and puts it into the right um, folders, and it gets copied. Like he has a system, he has it to do it automatically every few days or so. So if anything, we only lose a few days worth of stuff. But I'm not always good at copying it over. And then also there's Google Photos. So we have, if it gets copied here, it gets copied there, it gets put onto the hard drive. So if our hard drive fails, there's at least over there. If our house burns down, there's at least the pictures. Um, Now for my stuff for my YouTube channel, that's on a different folder. It doesn't get copied, but that's okay. Like that's okay. Like and only my videos are on my YouTube. Once I create a video, it's on my YouTube unless it's something that I've created for like our vacation stuff. We'll also have it elsewhere. Well, so that's the joys of hubby is techie. You know, he's not handy around the house um, and other things, uh, but he's good with computers and anything to do with that. If it was up to him, our whole house would be completely computerized and be able to be. You got a knot or something stuck in your fur here. Yes, you do. Um, be able to be controlled by Google if it was up to him. He's definitely an Android person. Usually save my work, but got lax and got bit in my. That's really good. Ouch. Yeah, so we'll see. I'm awful at that. So this is part of my problem, like with the ADHD and stuff like that. I do things like 90% and then stop. So I'm not very good at um, doing backups and stuff unless I get reminded to do it. You like my hell yes? This is Princess. Everybody likes Princess. She likes YouTube too. You can come up here. She is okay. So Abby's turning 16, so she's 14 years old. Pretty good. She still gets some knots. We had to shave her before we went on vacation. Some right at her back because she couldn't get at them because she's getting a little bit old. But we've had a couple of mice come in this fall, and she's caught them. But she's also caught them and played with them. And then comes to show me, no, don't kill it first. Don't. To the point she played with one, and I had to go end up killing it so she can get it, and then I threw it out. But I'm like, where the frick are they coming in? But haven't seen one in weeks. But I'm like, yeah, my other cat is freaking scared of the mice. Seriously. So Sushi, when the mice was upstairs, like she brought it up in her mouth and said, "Oh look, mommy," wow, wow, and dropped it. It's like, what the. Is it dead? No, it wasn't dead. I'm like, yeah, at 2 o'clock in the morning. So now I close my freaking door. So I don't want her to necessarily come and do this. So I have like now post traumatic stress, not only from my childhood, but now from my cat coming to bring me a freaking mouse. She's come up through the tube in the stove. Check any openings that go outside. See, my stove doesn't go outside. So, like, my stove has the fan that just goes inside. You know, nothing. The only thing that goes outside, I think, is the dryer vent, but I haven't seen any holes there. And we just got new windows, so there's not hole. Like before, when we had our old windows, it used to. We did have something with our patio door. Had a weird vent that went under the house. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I think wherever it comes, I think they were in the basement at some point because that's where she would make noise or whatever. So she has this noise that sounds kind of like sushi's in heat noise, but that's her chasing the mouse. But then she likes to play with it. So I'm like, But knock on wood, we'll knock on some wood here. Haven't had mice for a couple of weeks now, and we've caught 3 this fall, which is the most we've ever really had. Usually we've had like 1 in a year or 2. But I think because we had a warm summer and there was a couple of times the doors were left open, or that and a warm fall that they were coming in. Now that's cold. It's minus 18 with the wind chill. Yay! It's minus 9 without. We had some snow, but not a lot. That hopefully will freeze those darn suckers and kills them, or they hibernate or something somewhere else, not in here. But Sushi is scared of mice. So when the mice was squeaking, she ran up Abby's bunk bed, like the stairs, to her loft bed and stayed there. I'm like, she's not even pulling her freaking weight. Hold here, but still read all here. Hey, 50 chickens. Hey, Alex, how's it going? Well, this is normal weather in November, except for about in 2011, it was 17 degrees Celsius today. My friend posted. I'm like, yeah, well, that's unusual. Usually we have fall. It's usually around 0. We usually have a bit like it goes down to -5, usually around 5 or so. Hey, Angie, how's it going? I got your message. I can get together with you tomorrow morning just for a short bit because I have to meet a friend around noon. So, if you're free tomorrow morning, I am free. As I was just saying earlier, life the past 2 weeks has been nuts, and my computer is working finally. Yay! Yeah. So I mean, I do believe that there's climate change and stuff, and that says things are getting warmer. But sometimes things are getting warmer and some things are getting colder. But I think that's kind of also normal too. But I think that the stuff that the pollutants that we put into our air, kind of accelerates the extremes. So and just if we want to have a world in 50 years, um, that's relatively as it is now, we kind of have to try and do our own fair share of, recycling and reusing and trying to, you know, use better energy and all that jazz. Calling for sleet and ice rain. Ouch. No. Okay, so Angie, I'll get together. We'll meet somewhere for 9. Same here. Snow. It's great. Well, yeah. So it's deer hunting season here too. There's been a few. My friend um, was hunting this past weekend, but I don't know if he caught anything. Uptown and have a great day. Well, have a great day, BJ. Are you visiting your dad today? Tell him hi. Hi from Kanata. Um, so, oh, I wanted to also chat with you guys wherever you live. Um, if you need assistance, so kids are on the bus at 8:30, so to meet at 9. Okay, so just we'll figure out where we want to meet. Maybe at Starbucks, that mall there, if you'd like to meet there, or at the mall, or Tim Horton. Well, no, Tim Hortons was loud. Wherever, somewhere with Wi-Fi, which is always fun. Um, I mean, we could do Sobeys again too. They had it was quiet there, and they had Wi-Fi. Just stop at or get a coffee at the Sobeys there. They're not bad coffees. Um, to Tim's, but not on the Wendy's side. Yeah. Okay, well, teasers, pleasers, check in tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Angie and we will do a live stream together. So whatever time that is where you are, hopefully you can pop in. Hello, Princess. You can go wherever the best Wi-Fi is. Yeah, well, I'm thinking. Well, it's the Wi-Fi and the noise factor too. So I think one of the best Wi-Fi's was at Sobeys because we were like the only ones using it. You can come back up here, Princess. You keep on walking by. You went to get a drink because your chin is all wet. um. So yeah. Also, just letting you guys know and stuff like that. Check if you guys need assistance at Christmas. Check out your local area's food pantry. They usually have a Christmas hamper where you can usually get like a turkey and all the fixings, presents for the kids or whatever. Um, with your, it's usually through a food cupboard or through a church or that. Because at this time of year, you everybody finds it difficult sometimes, So, and it's always nice to have something a little bit special. Search everywhere and can't find. Just realize you were on. Hey, Iron Fire Horse. Yeah, and also for those who don't necessarily need help themselves, if you can help your local food bank by either sponsoring a family or a person, or just donating some extra food or a present for the kids. Or lots of places have like these Christmas angel trees or whatever, where they'll put ages and stuff. I always did this with my kids. Usually their ages, and got them to pick out a present that they wanted themselves, and I bought it with them, and we wrapped it or donated it. Because some places they don't want it wrapped, so we would donate it to the places that did it. I go for Thanksgiving, so seafood. Oh, yum! I wish we had seafood or affordable seafood. So, and now that the kids are a bit older, their presents are a bit more expensive, but there's not much of them. Actually, trying to get Abby to tell me what she wants for Christmas, getting either of them to tell me what they want for Christmas is like pulling teeth. Considering Abby's birthday is in December before Christmas, it's like all I've gotten from her was a body wash flavor and stuff with coconut, but she still has lots of stuff from coconut from last year because that was all she told me last year. Yeah, which is fine, but I like giving presents. That's my love language. I like receiving. I like giving. And it's not a monetary thing. Like today, I had coffee break, which is a women's Bible study at my church, and I was on snack today. So I didn't really bake, but I brought cheese and crackers, and I brought croissants that I had bought and cookies that I had bought. But I brought my own red pepper jelly that I have a video on, and my pumpkin butter and my my chocolate cherry jam, and I had croissants that I had bought last week with my groceries. I just brought them, and everybody liked it. But it was nice. I like sharing that type of stuff. The other kids know what they want, so I do basic some books, a put plush doll each, video games. Yeah, well, that's what I did with my kids and stuff like that. But the same with books. So I loved books as a kid, and I have a weird relationship with books. So I loved books. We never really had lots of money to buy a lot of books, and then when we did have books, one of the places when I was in grade six, so I was like 11 or 12, where we were moving in an apartment building, and somebody had stolen two boxes of my books, and they were the Disney books, the ones that you end up spending like $10 or whatever per book to get like the whole set. So I lost like almost all of them, and because they were not necessarily packed all together. Uh, and so when my kids were small, I used to buy books for them, some new, some used, lots forgiven, and had a whole like library of books. But my kids were never print readers. They liked a little bit like but now they're both audiobooks. So we always get them audiobooks that we buy for them, and some print, but not usually much. So you can't. It's really hard to wrap an audiobook. Like sometimes we'll print off something that we get them that's virtual. We wrap it and put it under the tree, but it's not as fun. Do nothing but cash and do Boxing Day shopping. That's good. Oh my God, William is the same. He has no idea what he wants. Helen is easy. She tells me something new every day. Yes, she puts his dolls. Well, exactly. And when my kids were smaller, it was much easier. Like they would get into Monster High dolls, right? And so I tried and look at whichever, and I shared. So this is the thing. I had two girls. They at one point liked my Monster High, so I'd get some for one and some for the other, and they kind of shared, right? Like none of their toys were specifically for them. Like it was always a share thing, unless certain things. Like Rowan was really more into crafts, and Abby was more into science, and you know there were certain things, but like the stuffies and stuff were theirs, but things that they played together with that were multiple pieces, they shared, and they were good with that. But we started that when they were little. Just want camera equipment usually much for Christmas though. My birthday is Thanksgiving. Awesome. Yeah, camera equipment is expensive. My kids are both avid. See, my kids are avid audiobook readers. Um, I haven't had, I read too, but I've changed to. I used to always love paper books, but then after having kids and after having doing a lot more audiobooks, I've been more an audiobook reader because I don't really have the time to sit down and read with a paper book, and I prefer audiobooks because we get the really good ones with the sound effects and stuff. Yes. Oh, sorry, your internet's going down, Joyce. Whereabouts are you from, Joyce, since you're new here? Youngest had read over 600 by the time. Wow, that's cool. No, not cameras. Like a cheap tripod and a microphone with a windshield, since it's very windy. Okay, yeah. See, I don't even know. Like, I would have to do research on that type of stuff to even see what that was. Like, we read constantly. Iron. I read to them all night. We are on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. My youngest. That's actually her. One of her. Well, that's her YouTube name. AJ. That's her initials, and then Hyde, because she likes Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Arizona. Very cool. Asperger's. Yes. Well, so yeah, my oldest has a learning disability. My youngest is blind, but might be gifted. But the when you have those checklists of like, if guys aren't on Facebook, every once in a while there's Asperger's or autism or ADHD things of people post. All those things are relevant to my kids too. They don't necessarily have them, but some of the social intricacies, however you say that, and the things of how what things work with people who are on the spectrum and stuff like that also work for my kids. But I think also treating using those things with everybody else too would also work too. 10 years has autism too. Homeschool, awesome. Well, yeah, the things with autism and Asperger's and social cues, I have a bunch of friends who have kids that one friend who she herself thought she had was autistic or on the spectrum. Both of her boys are autistic, but they're extremely high functioning. But she was just diagnosed with ADHD. So, um, and but she does have some of the checklists, like a lot of them for autism. But it's harder with girls and stuff like that to get diagnosed because they don't share the same behavior and issues, you know. While with boys, it's easier because they're always kind of bouncing around saying ADHD adjustment adjustment disorder, dysgraphia, and Gavin 14 mixed mood disorder. So that's the thing. I don't. Uh, I should have I should have like say I should have homeschooled my kids when they were younger and then put them in at high school age. I think it would have been better for their growth, but then well, and their reading and all that stuff and getting those things down pat. But I think they might have suffered socially too. I think school was kind of good for them, especially my youngest, because she doesn't see social. She doesn't see right now, right? So she doesn't see social cues. So she doesn't get social cues. So she sometimes is socially awkward, right? But she'll talk and chat with anybody, and she'll make friends and stuff like that. But some people she doesn't get along with because she goes, I don't have anything in common with them, and she doesn't like wasting her time with people she doesn't get along with. She's very weird like that. And girls, yes, girls hide it well. And homeschool might want to switch back to public just because there's yes, but sometimes the socializing, no offense, but sometimes like my kids go to school, they don't really socialize after school with their classmates because some of the stuff that the kids do in school they don't want to do, hang out, do parties, do extracurricular things that are not parent approved, let's say. And we social out, yeah, and there's a few and here where we live there's a lot of homeschool groups. I'm still on the list for the homeschool groups even though I don't homeschool. When my kids were smaller I supplemented their education at home with things that they were doing at school. So when they were doing science on say evolution or on the brain or whatever, I would get a whole bunch of resources and work on it at home so that they can get a better grasp of it because they didn't have necessarily the time or the resources to do the one-on-one with them at school. I still do that now, but not as much. My kids don't they want my help with doing projects and stuff for helping with editing and like just editing and the grammar and stuff like that and just making it flow a bit better or helping them brainstorm with ideas. And I help do the research um, part of it of okay, this is what you're looking for. Here's a link. Look, read this. Here's a link. Look, read this. So I can help give them the link, and then they read it and then put it in their own words, or I'm their scribe, so they tell me what to type, and then we'll go through it afterwards. Yep, there are groups here too. I'm just going to say that Jenn is bad. It's bad socialization. It's really bad if you're a poor family who rents. Very true. Well, exactly. Well, it's really. It's also bad if you are different. If you have a disability, if you just act different, if you have different legs. Okay, my kids, like when they were younger, like Rowan was a girly girl. She liked dresses and stuff like that, and princesses. Both my kids like princesses. But Abby has more likes that are not interested in girl stuff. Like neither of my kids are big boy band girls. Okay, my oldest does like music and stuff, but there's not really posters or want to buy a t-shirt. Like she has a couple of t-shirts from bands that she likes, but she's not like gaga crazy, like oh my god, Bieber or Boys to Men when we were kids or all that stuff. They're not like that. Abby likes Avengers. She likes Naruto. She likes Japanese anime. She likes Red Dwarf and sci-fi fantasy type books and movies and shows. Rowan likes that too, but she also likes a bit of like well, she likes Riverdale. I know that from I haven't watched it, but she watches it down on Netflix. My channel is about our homeschooling and their disabilities. Yes, I've watched a couple of your videos, and I like how you um, share what you're doing with them. Well, this was the thing was with the school bullying was well, exactly. That's why I changed schools. My oldest, we went from the public school to the Catholic school because there was bullying going on, and the school was not dealing with it. That actually caused her stress, and actually I think was a trigger to her trigeminal neuroplasia. The face she had face pain on one side of the face because of the bullying and the stress that triggered it. Whether she had it before and it was never diagnosed, but now she have it. She was treated with it. It took like a year and a half to get rid of the bad symptoms of it, and now it could come back. It's one of those things that it's not cured, but it could come back. We never want to get that away again. So our adults 2025, and have a great day 50. Have a great day 50. Oh yeah, bye 50. Bye Alex. Okay, have a great day 50. 50 chickens in the house. Yes, I hope you do a video of your seafood Thanksgiving, because that sounds like wonderful. Seafood anything sounds wonderful. Yes, I know, because I was like 50. Well, his name is Alex, so if you ever want to, that's only 4 letters, Alex. He's just, I think he's just a year younger than my daughter, so. Do your daughters live close to your home? Farina? How can you type it how it sounds phonetically? Because I'm saying it's like Farina, Fariana, Fariana, Fairy, 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 Fairweana, Fairweana. Okay, I will hopefully. Well, nobody can say Kanata. Okay, I keep on everybody that does do a shout out to my name on their channel. They say Katana or Kenan Kantan. They mess it up. I'm like it's Kanata. It's not too hard, but Fair E Anna or just Faye. Okay, my 20-year-old just moved back home. Well, that's one of those things that on a couple of my friends' channels, well, I call them friends because I like them and I like their channels. They were talking about adult children living at home and going and coming back and stuff like that. And it's actually, if they can live at home and save up, and if you charge them rent or whatever, like you know, a token, like it's a token amount. It's not necessarily like true roommates, unless that is their goal. But if they're working, they should pay some sort of bit of rent and pay for their food or like. But it helps them save money so that they have a good start on life. Because otherwise, they leave the house and they be adults and get into debt. And I don't know about you, but we're still in debt. I mean, it took 13 years to pay my student loans, and my student loans were only like 20,000. Her old has been back home off and on. My sister in law moved back home twice. Once when she moved away to BC, like we're on Ontario, so that was far away, and then she broke up with that boyfriend and changed jobs and moved back home. So she moved back home for a short period of time. Then she bought her house with her savings, like that she had saved, and then ever since then, that was the second time she moved back. She has always either bought her house, like she still has a house and it's a rental property now, because her and her fiance moved into fiance's house, which was already was bigger and was already set up and stuff. So, but Well, did you guys get lots of snow? We didn't get much snow. We got about 5 centimeters of snow. Like the snow plows came, and I'm like, there was not even 5 centimeters of snow, and but then it froze. So now it's like we have a light dusting of snow. Like it melted a bit, then it froze. But this weekend's supposed to be snow and cold. It's really cold today. It's 9 degrees, -9, which is like a -18 with the wind chill. Yeah, we only got like that much out there. Like the plows came by at like 2 o'clock. So I'm like, is that the plows? There wasn't anything there. So it's not even enough to even completely cover my leaves that are still on the ground, which I didn't rake up because, well, hadn't gotten to that. 15 centimeters, wow. Yeah, no, we didn't get that. And we usually get worse snow up here than in southern Ontario. Usually, you guys in southern Ontario get a little bit, and then that's it. We get it all. Once we start getting it, it's from now till March. But I'm kind of looking forward to winter. Well, I'm looking forward to Christmas because I really enjoy Christmas. Because for me, memories wise and stuff, it was like the only time of the year that my parents actually tried to be nice to one another, and it was also something that was revolved around me because my dad was a narcissistic person, and his everybody's life revolved around him. They were divorced, but at Christmas time, it revolved around everybody else. Not just him. Got a shovel, hoping it melts. I haven't taken well, I haven't taken out the shovel or anything. Or you hate Christmas? I like Christmas, and I like Christmas, and I like Santa, and I like how people are usually in their best behavior around the holidays. Um, and my hope in humanity is always refreshed at Christmas because you hear the stories of the good deeds and stuff like that. It's been heal. Yeah, I don't like. Well, so I like Father's Day for my husband and stuff, but yeah, Father's Day for me has a kind of it's a sore point. Well, same with Mother's Day. Well, Mother's Day is close to my husband's birthday, so he always gets like the short end of the stick too. Like I like Mother's Day for myself and my mother, but my mother's been gone for many years now, 22 years, so more than half my life now. Yes, yes, princess. So it's kind of like it's a happy sad thing. So even though Christmas I like Christmas, and even though my parents aren't here anymore, I have kids, and I have my in-laws, and I have other family that see. I just wish so. This is the thing. I wish my rest of my other family were into gifts too. Like the last few years, they've stopped doing gifts. They just give money, and my in-laws, my sister-in-law just doesn't want to exchange gifts. So I still make them cookies and stuff, and I give them cookies because I still have to give them gifts. I still have to do something because I just have to do that. But I give gifts to the kids, so my dad on Christmas when I was 18. So it was, ouch, yeah. True. So that's when, well, exactly. My dad, even when my kids were small, tried to cancel, like, we invite him, cancel Christmas at least 4 times in, like, 14 years. But he was dealing with depression and stuff like that. My stepmom used to still participate and come, even when he canceled and stuff, so she did her best. But yeah, I get it. Like my parents were alcoholics for the first 10 years of my life. So, but the only times of the year when I was small, that they were usually on good behavior. Like we'd go and see my grandparents. Um, they were split. Like when I was 6, um, was at Christmas time. Everybody tried to make things better, but also at Christmas too. When I was a kid, I remember specifically my mom getting a Christmas hamper from like the food bank and getting toys from Toy Mountain, and stuff like that. And I was ecstatic. Like it was not like a. At first, it was a shame thing, but then I was ecstatic because I was like, those were some of my best Christmases because I got a whole bunch of different toys that I never would have gotten otherwise. And she still tried to buy stuff for me and that, but she was working like two, three jobs just so that we wouldn't necessarily have to live in deep in the projects. We still lived in the projects, but we lived on the kind of the outskirts of it. But because otherwise we couldn't afford it, you know. And she had, some a couple of her jobs she had to get, she got fired or whatever, or got laid off because of the seasons, and she had to go on EI and all that stuff. That's employment insurance. So, and with my dad, the same thing. He would work. He'd usually get laid off in the wintertime because of things. I don't celebrate any holidays. Mother's Day, totally off topic around my house. Yeah, but you're a mother. It doesn't have to. So that's the thing, is that you can try and disconnect yourself from your parents. That's what I've kind of tried to do, because I'm like, I was talking about this actually today. Was like my childhood had a lot of things that sucked. Okay, but there was lots of people or things in my life that kind of steered me towards a better place, making better decisions. Like, I mean, I still made bad decisions, but all things considered, with all the stuff that's in my life, I should have had made a lot worse decisions. Like, people I know from my childhood that were making huge bad decisions continued to make, a lot of them continued to make bad decisions. A lot of them are in like way worse off places than I am. So somebody was looking out for me, whatever you want to believe in, people were put in my life that were at least there, maybe not perfectly or anything like that. But also I made a lot more better decisions than worse decisions. Got tired of having to waste our money and energy on holidays and suffer hard. Very true. Very true. So yeah, you should never go into debt over the holidays for family. But Christmas does not have to come with a dollar sign. Okay? For me, Christmas is the spirit of giving, whether it's stuff that you make, stuff or stuff that you do, um, acts of service, acts of kindness, and stuff like that. If there's a skill that you are talented in, like cooking or sewing or whatever, making a coupon book of, I will hem, you know, 3 pairs of pants or whatever, like, so it doesn't actually have to cost money. And then food wise, accessing your local food banks for a Christmas hamper where you get the turkey stuffing and stuff like that, presents for the kids if they, excuse me, are small. Sometimes they give presents for other people too, but sometimes, like, especially our local food bank, in years past they used to try and give presents for everybody, but last year it like doubled. Like, we're over 500 families. We're a small community. Okay, this year it like, it hasn't even, it's not even halfway through registration. Like, it stops registering December 3rd. I think we're already at 400 families, and we just got our first snowfall. So now it's like everybody's like deciding, oh, it's it's winter. That means Christmas is coming. Oh dear. Oh, I'm just gonna grab my charging cord because I'm like, oh, my phone's gonna die. Arg. Sorry about that. Didn't realize how low it was. Rich drunk woman sealed my fate. Oh yeah, my back was broken at 24. I'm over 50 now. That crap. Years not happening. Ouch, yeah. As more of a broken spine, it causes issues of dickering. True. True. I agree. Like, for now, like, with my family, I I like to decorate, but I don't have the energy. I don't have. Sometimes I get overwhelmed. So what I've done lately with my kids is I've gotten the tree up and I've told them to decorate, and I'm completely happy with however they want to decorate it. I pass it on to them because I really enjoy um the Christmas time and the spirit of Christmas, and then just the volunteering and the helping out. So there's lots of different things. You might have to search for them in your community of what you could do just to help and give back, or make somebody else's life who sucks more than yours feel good. Like, I mean, we've done volunteering for like homeless shelters and stuff like that, and made stockings for them of like, basically we took socks and uh put the other sock in the sock, and then filled it with candies and a book and hat, mitts, scarf, or just collected some items and donated it. It's just sometimes um good to also give back too, but also if you do need help, it's also, you know, it's there to sign up for and get help, you know? Yeah, so, and sometimes like, and Christmas is one of those times, like, I struggle with myself because I mean I deal with a bit of anxiety, depression too, of just like, I wish, like, my mom was not perfect. I wish my mom was still around, you know? My relationship with my mother, the last, say, 8 years of her life, were significantly better than the first 12 years, and we were just starting to have a decent relationship, and then she died. Okay, headed to the store, need to get shrimp and stuff. Oh, yum. That sounds yummy, Faye. um but then I just try and make it special for my kids, but but also not getting into debt. When the kids were small, we did do that. We were crazy stupid. But now we just do it with actual money. I ran an outreach for 6 years. That's how I wrecked my surgery. But making others' lives easier, kids hate me for it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm Maybe that wasn't uh, a wise choice. Uh, I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know the situation, and I don't know the choices you had. Um, but doing good for others, there might have been other things you could have done, maybe. Kids are selfish. You gave to others and you suffered for it. Someone should give that. Exactly. I used to talk just like you. Oh, I said, no, Iron. No, no, that's it's called. It's just called try to be hopeful. I mean, I was like, you are not an idiot. We are all given a set of cards, a hand, and we have to play it. We can bluff our way and try and win the pot, or we play the cards we dealt with and they suck, or we play the cards we dealt with and they're great. You know, but doing loving others and trying to do well for others helps you love yourself, helps you realize that your purpose on this earth is more than about yourself. It's about your relationship with other people. And I'm sure that the people that you did help, even though they might not have said it to you, appreciate and look back at that time that you did help them later on, years down the road, going, oh, if so and so, if I didn't go to this program, or, they might not have acknowledged you specifically. That's my turning point. It turned me away from drugs, or turned me away from prostitution, or turned me away from homelessness, or whatever. You're all getting deep. Yeah, well, it's that. No, they were smart. I was. No, you should have thought about me. So, no, you should have. So, yes, think about your family and do well for your family too. But doing for other, you could have maybe thought more of how it would affect you physically. I don't know, or put some some restrictions on it. It's okay to say no to some things and stuff like but it's thinking thinking and helping others is never bad. Um, no matter, even if it's not appreciated, even if it gets thrown back in your face, the fact that you thought and tried to help somebody else, even if they didn't appreciate or didn't want it, and that shows of the empathy. That shows like that's what we are here on this earth for. Um, we are not here to be souls, little islands, you know, only about ourselves, because that's what some people who are narcissistic believe they are. We are here to build community. We are here to build friends. We are here to have neighbors, to build, hope, to have hope that life will get better, have hope that society will get better. We can't expect our politicians to help and make society better. We ourselves have to do our fair share with our little bits that we can by helping make one person's life better. But if everybody helped to make one, pay back, help one person's life to be better, we'd be just a much happier society. It all comes around. I've been acknowledged big time. I didn't have any of those issues you talk about. Okay, well that's good. A lot of people were helped. Yes, it might. I'm pretty sure it has ruined your life for years and forever because of the health issues. It has made a permanent injury an issue, which I am very sorry that it has, and that really sucks. And I'm sorry that there is not um, something that can fix that. But you possibly could do something else to help your financial situation. I don't know, maybe like I know that now with Ontario, going back to school, e- even as a mature student, there are a lot of you can get a student loan, but also lots of grants that you don't have to pay back to help you get retrained in something else that would not be causing um, more injury to your back. Also, being more like being an entrepreneur of something, I don't know, is also um, good too. Because I know, like, I mean, being on ODSP, being on welfare, being on anything like that sucks. Okay, they don't give you enough money to actually live on, and you're scraping tooth and nail for everything, and it sucks. I mean, it. The very least they could do is give you enough to live on. Okay, so that your rent and your food and utilities are paid for, so that you can just at least survive, but they're not, and that's very stressful and very painful, and I'm sorry that this happens. There are programs, I mean, again, you know more of what's available in your area, uh, available to help with food, with clothing, with other things, with training too. Also different community centers offering with social assistance of like a social worker to help with other things. uh, but I still think just being kind is not being kind to people, and being kind to that is not going to hurt you, is not, it's not going to hurt them. My kids still have people come up to them when they go back to our hometown and ask about me, and I say how much. Well, see, there's that thing. So you have done good. And I'm sorry that you were injured in the process of doing good. Um, it sometimes happens. I am, and you did good for the right reasons. You didn't do good for somebody to acknowledge you, to praise you, like kind of like you're not there for a photo op, like some of the politicians, like our local politician that's in our municipality. He's always seems to be there sometimes for the photo op, but not necessarily there for the work. But he's there for other things. He's not doing a bad job, but he could do better. But can't we all? But from my experience from working with people with physical disabilities and developmental disabilities, I've worked with people with physical disabilities as a physical care attendant to help them to do activities of daily living so that they can continue to do whatever with their life. Those that were born with the disability, even if it progressed worse, usually were fairly optimistic. Those who had a quote unquote normal life up to a point and they were inflicted with the injury, like for example in a car accident, and they became paraplegic, or diving off rock cliffs and became a paraplegic, they have a lot of hate and injury, hate and resentment and bitterness, towards themselves or towards whoever caused the injury, um, and non acceptance of the injury itself, or to move on from that injury. And a lot of times they get in the spiral of bitterness and stuff, which itself, the negative feelings that people have have been proven to cause ulcers and upset stomachs and stuff. If you're always kind of negative, like just letting it go, because there's nothing you can do right now to change the past. There's absolutely nothing you can do. They could do right now. You could kind of fight for, the funding or whatever, fight the rich person that hits your car and stuff, and that you could do that, but it might not happen. Like it might cost you too much by having your DSW. Yes, exactly. Like I already did go back to school thing. I owe almost 30K. They're taking all my tax credits to pay back. Ugh. Heading out. Have an awesome. Have a great afternoon, Angie. I'll see you. We can do something tomorrow. Okay, I'll message you, Angie. You're a hero, and you and your kids will get remembered, and your family will be proud, proud and proud. I almost have a psychology BA, but they kept going on strike. I would never go back. They're still always begging for more. You might be able to check with a social worker, check with your college too. You might be able to get some. There's a lot of student loan forgiveness stuff. A friend of mine just got like 10K forgiven of it. I'm like, yeah, there wasn't some. I didn't quite look into those programs, that option when I was doing it, except for at the end when I was paying off the last bit. I think I got like $500. Like I said, okay, there was $1,500 left. If I paid 1,000, would they be fine with it? And they said they were fine with that, but that was about it. I didn't really look into that there, but I'm just saying that so if you're DSW and stuff, you could apply as a EA in the school system of working, and it could be mostly sit down, sometimes walking and stuff like that. Being positive got me into this mess. I'm more mature. Mm, you have to be realistic too. So I'm optimistic, but I'm also realistic. I do. I plan for the worst. I hope for the best, but plan for the worst. So I try and work out the worst possible situation and make sure that I plan for it. So when it does happen that way, or if it does happen that way, I'm not completely shocked. So I lower my expectations, but I hope for the best. So I'm always pleasantly surprised, and I find that works for me, because when I tried to have expectations up to here of things, and people weren't meeting my expectations, I resented it. I don't. So certain things I have other expectations, but I find you have to you have to be you have to be sort of optimistic. Otherwise, if you're pessimistic, you have to be also realistic. Like my dad sometimes was optimistic, but he wasn't realistic. His head was always in the clouds, and I call him more of like an extreme Christian. He goes, "Oh, God has me, has my back. He will, make things." But yes, he might do that, but you also have to do something. Like he used to sometimes drive on the Queensway, the highway, and have his praise worship music on and clapping without his hands on the wheel. I'm like, yeah, oh, God has the wheel. Like, yeah, he also expects you to hold on to the wheel. He does not want you to not have your hands on the wheel going 100 kilometers an hour. No, no. So yes, there's if you have faith or whatever, you believe in whatever God that you believe in, having faith does help with that. But otherwise, just having faith also in humanity, because yes, humanity right now, all the stuff that you see on the news and stuff on Facebook, stuff everywhere, a lot of it that we see, it's not that it's necessarily more out there. There's might be a little bit more, but we have instant news of it. While during World War One, or World War Two, it took days or weeks to hear of bad things, and some things in remote places we never heard of because nobody was there reporting it because of. You're not too messed up, Iron. You are not. There, you need back surgery and other medical care and can't access it. It can't do volunteer work to go to school with broken. Well, maybe looking into getting that surgery or that there are more job. There are different jobs that do not require you to be having a good back. There's people that are in wheelchairs and people that are doing stuff that are doing different jobs, and the jobs you can get accommodations or whatever for. Like there's just different jobs. They might not be paid as well, and might be able to get the surgery you need. Like, can't you go back and get more the surgery? I know. Like that's because you need the meds or medicinal marijuana or whatever to help treat the pain. Like I don't know which ones work for you. Um, but there might be. Well, that's what I'm saying. There might be something not conventional that you could do. Would have to move to a different area. There is that possibility too. I don't know. Like I know here in Ottawa things are more expensive, so rent is more expensive, food's a bit more expensive. Probably not compared to Southern Ontario, but uh, again we have but we have more access to a lot of services, and there's a lot more community services that are out there that are there for different disabilities, different pockets of people that can access them. Um, and honestly, using the food bank to get food, since you are financially strapped, it will help you use that money that you do have for other things. If I was in Ottawa, I would already be fixed. Where's your surgeon is in Ottawa? Then why don't you try and contact that surgeon and see about getting the surgery? Because if you're getting the surgery, you'd be in the hospital, so you wouldn't even need a place to necessarily stay. Like I would be looking into trying to get your a new surgery. If you're in that much pain, at least all I can say is our healthcare, from my point of reference, is pretty good. Yes, there's sometimes wait lists and stuff like that, depending on what it is, but it's not that bad. There are laws against being referred out of the area. I would just contact the original surgeon. or ask your doctor to contact the original surgeon. Like if there's problems, there's problems. But also you're closer to your Southern Ontario. I'm sure there's other there's other surgeons that could do the surgery because I know that London has a really good hospital in Toronto. I think there's also another one in Barrie. It's against the law. But your doctor can refer you to a surgeon that could do the surgery. Just where you live. Yeah, you're in Barrie. So I think there's one a good. Well, I don't know for your specific thing, but I know that the hospital that's in London has a lot of good surgeons. Like I know my father-in-law actually had to go to London to get his liver transplant, even though they do liver transplants up here. But London was the place for liver transplants. My daughter had eye surgeries here, but also eye surgeries in Toronto because depending on which the surgery was, the doctors were more specialized. In the one that was in Toronto for a couple of her surgeries that were unique, um, had done multiple of that surgeries each month, while the one that was here did it multiples each year. So they said it was best for us to go to Toronto. So we went to Toronto. You're in Barrie. My daughter's one of her best friends lives just outside Barrie, in Port Hope, Port something. But she says she lives in Barrie, but like just outside Barrie. But like I don't know, like if you're in constant pain, you should be able to get some sort of relief through treatment, through surgery, through whatever. Toronto's closer than London, but not allowed to refer there. Well, for a surgery, like I was gonna say, we have to go to your doc. Like you have to go to your doctor, your main doctor, and then they have to refer you to someone who knows what they're doing. I'm wrong. Okay. Well, I know for I have to go. My doctor had to refer me to go get treatment for ADHD because at another doctor, my doctor for my daughter's eyes referred to another ophthalmologist. Even though the ophthalmologist, they don't deal with the eye condition, had to refer to another doctor. Okay, fair enough. Well, your doctor, like if you're in pain, you have to go to your doctor, and then you tell your doctor you're in pain, and then they send you for tests or whatever. Okay. Yes, I do agree. I do love and enjoy the Ottawa area because it's a big city, but it also has a small city feel. Like where we live, we're in the suburbs of it, so it's very much small city. Yes, there's crime, but it's usually stupid petty crime. So it's not even like we have had some major crime. I see my doctor all the time. Well, what does your doctor say about your pain? Like there has to be some sort of pain management, um, either by meds or by therapies or by surgeries. We're talking about Iron Fire Horse's pain and stuff, and I was saying that they have to refer. Like, I mean, you could talk to your doctor about referring to a specialist in your pain. Like for no one's allowed to prescribe. Yeah, they are. You have to find a doctor that can prescribe it. They're allowed to prescribe it because I know people who get it prescribed. You have to go to certain pharmacies to get it, and you're only allowed a certain amount, like a week's worth or something. Like it's a crazy, stupid, a small amount, just in case there's um, stealing or faking it. But you can. I use medical marijuana already. It only does so much. Well, because I was gonna say I have a friend who does use it too. Depending on which um, strain you get, she does tend to use, I believe, the oils um, that has the pain. there's two types of in marijuana. There's one for pain and one for getting high, and one has a high concentration for the stuff for pain. But yeah, she has also prescriptions for that too. Yeah, and some pain is just too bad. I agree. That's gonna say you can get prescriptions for opiates for not well. There's Valium, but there's the other one there. But they have to they you have to find the doctor that's allowed to that will prescribe them. Your doctor by talking to your doctor saying the pain is so high. Also going to the hospital. So if you go into the hospital into the ER of the hospital and saying the pain is so high, they will also refer you to the doctor that can prescribe that type of stuff, especially if your pain is that high. No. Oh. Hello. Oh, that was Abby. Oh, I sent to the. Yeah, that's my doctor. Wow. Well, I was gonna say that's probably how you have to go around doing. Because I know there's doctors here in Ottawa that will prescribe opiates, but you're getting there's only a few pharmacies that dish them out because and they're high security. Um, and they do the opiates for like they'll say like 5 refills or whatever, but they'll only do it for like 6 pills or whatever, like not like for a week or 7 pills or whatever. We'd have to know the severity of the politics over here with our hospitals and politics. Yeah, I don't know that, but if you're in pain, and it might be in your best interest to move somewhere else where it's more helpful for your pain management. You would have to know. Never move again. Iron Fire Horse is in Barrie, southern Ontario, so just a bit the same province as I am, just more southern, near Toronto. Um, finish me off. Mm. Yeah, moving sucks. I hate moving. I moved a lot when I was younger. I would not want to move again, but I would move if I had to, but I wouldn't like it. I'm gonna have to let you go. Just because Abby just messaged me that she's done and needs to help be picked up. So this is the thing is with her recent anxiety and stuff, I have to pick her up from school. Also with the snowfall until she gets used to the and with the low iron, she's been getting dizzy and she doesn't trust her own body to be able to rely on it to get home safely. So that's the fun joys of all that spiel. I had an appointment with pain specialist, but they keep canceling. Oh, yeah. Well, the pain specialist might be able to also give you other because I think they're the ones that can give you. Because I know from my daughter, she had to get some stuff moved from the hood. So, but I'm gonna have to let you go. I hope you have a great day. I'm gonna go live tomorrow around 9:30 with Angie, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So hopefully we can all continue this discussion also tomorrow. Bye, and Iron Firehorse, message me. My email address is in the link below. Message me I'd like to touch base with you via email. Okay? Well, anybody can message me. My email's down below. Just say who you are so I can know who I'm talking to. So, bye, friends. Mwah.